Welcome everybody to the Wealth Within Us. Today I'm here with my good friend, Maria Spillane. She is an Arbonne consultant and she has an amazing health to wealth story for us. And so Maria, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Spillane. It is so nice to meet you. Thanks for having me, Michelle.
Absolutely. I'm excited to have you on because I'm actually doing a gut reset with Maria. And no matter when you're watching it, you can always access it on the wealthwithin.us.
Awesome. I'm so excited you're going to do that gut reset with me. And I'm very happy that you're inviting your viewers to do the same. It's a wonderful program.
Absolutely. And later on, we'll do a video on the whole gut reset. But today we're going to focus on health and wealth and your personal story and journey, which I think everybody can relate to at some point or another in your journey.
Well, I appreciate that. The beginning, I guess, is before I got into wellness, before I got into business, before I even was introduced to the concept of personal development or leadership development or physical development or anything. I was a full-time teacher in the city of Allentown, Pennsylvania, about 12 years ago, this is, and I was very unhealthy. I was stressed out, relatively negative, and kind of focusing on the lack in my life. So I was in a kind of a negative space. I was, a teacher. So the teacher's lounge, I don't know if you've ever heard about the teacher's lounge.
Yeah, and I substitute taught for a number of years. So I'm familiar with the teacher's lounge.
So then you know
I
know
do.
what goes on in the teacher's lounge. It's like definitely a low vibration vibe. Okay.
It definitely is.
So,
a lot of complaining.
Yeah, a lot of complaining. And I was doing a lot of complaining at the time. I didn't feel well. I was sick all the time. My son was sick all the time. He was only 2 and he was in daycare for like ridiculous hours. And I was trying to figure out like, how can I take care of myself? But I'm working 50, 60 hours a week. And then my poor son only gets me when I'm exhausted. And it was all this stress. My husband was working like crazy too.
And being a teacher, you're taking a lot of that work home. So it's not just in the classroom, it's at home as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectation. And as a music teacher, it's kind of a bizarre experience to be a music teacher, honestly, because there's a very significant lack of appreciation and there's a very significant expectation. Okay. So you're expected to like do a ton of work at home. In a lot of cases, spend your own money to bring instruments into the school, figure that out on your own. And then, of course, you're not getting paid very well. And they don't even grade the kids, So it's like this whole crazy experience I was having.
Yes. And my daughter being in the band, I appreciate you. My daughter loved the band. So she's in the band.
Love your daughter. That's awesome. My music teacher friends and I still hang out.
Oh,
we still hang out all the time and I love them.
You have your own band.
Oh yeah, we kind of do. Before I was a music teacher, I was a full-time musician for a long time. And I actually became a music teacher because I wanted to settle down and have a family. And I did not want to live a transient lifestyle where I'm all over the planet all the time and never able to set down roots, never able to develop relationships. I really wanted something more stable. Like I wanted to settle down, I really did. Like I was ready to for a change. And I expected teaching to be that thing that was like rock solid. Something I could really,
Summer's
retirement, health insurance, wanted like to really have stability. And of course, that doesn't actually exist. And the state of education in our country is really hard to talk about. And the way things actually work in schools is not the way that it should, and the kids don't get what they need. They don't have access to the tools they need. They don't even have enough staffing. Like there's so much stress within the education community. Plus
a lot falls on the teachers.
Yeah, a lot falls on the teachers. And working in an inner city school where a great many of the parents really aren't able to be present with their kids.
Mhm.
You know, they're working all the time. A lot of single parents, a lot of kids who are really on their own.
Mm.
It was a really stressful place. Um, and that place, that township was struggling financially at the time. We knew that there were layoffs coming.
Uh,
The whole country at that time was really kind of in a tight spot. We're talking about 2011, so that's like
okay.
pretty much the end, like the last year of that recession that we went
Yeah.
through at that time.
Mhm.
And so all of this is going on, right? I've got a 2-year-old at home that I'd really like to be with. Okay. I'm dreaming of having another baby and thinking to myself, I know we can't afford it. We can't
Yep.
afford to have 2 kids in daycare because that would cost me more than what I make as a teacher
And it
to
would
have
cost
2
you
children.
time. So it's not even
Yeah.
just the money, it would cost you the
Oh,
time that you were away from them as
exactly.
well.
Oh, it was painful. So at that time, right in the midst of all this chaos, a friend of mine started her own business, and my husband actually is the one who told me about it. And he reached out. He's like, "Hey, you know, our friend so and so just started a business, and I think you'd really be interested in what they have because it's all like, you know, clean." And he said like all natural. Well, he doesn't know. Like I'm like I'm like a hippie, and I'm like, you know, I'm like checking labels
Oh,
for
I know, me too,
toxic
all the
ingredients.
time.
So I was really into that kind of thing. And he was like, "Yeah, like all those ingredients you hate, they don't use them." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." But I'll look at it, whatever. I go to this
Exactly.
girl's house.
Humor.
Yeah, I was like, he told me I could buy whatever I wanted. So
Oh, wow, the bonus
yeah,
there.
I was like, I can buy, I
Mm.
started doing some research on the company and I'm like, ooh, they do have really good ingredients. And I'm like, they've got protein shakes. And I'm like, I still have some baby weight. Forget about the fact that it's been 2.5 years. And I'm like thinking about, I made my
Yes.
little list of the things I wanted. And I went to this party at the girl's house. She was like having a like an opening party, like to celebrate the fact that she'd started
Yeah,
her own business.
like
And
her very
oh
first
man,
party.
oh yeah, it was so fun. It was so cute. And like, you know, she was really excited and really passionate about the products because she was very, very, very much into the whole wellness journey. Now I had not gotten into the wellness journey yet. I was reading my labels, but I hadn't gone any further than that. So I listened to everything they had to say, especially very, very interested in the ingredients policy. There's over 2,000 ingredients that are on the not allowed list for Arbonne.
Nice.
That is pretty unique. Um, you know, Arbonne is a B corporation, which is very difficult to
Yeah,
achieve. To be a B corporation, you have to be able to prove that you check. I mean, you got to check off all the boxes. Like, it's impossible to claim you're something you're not and
yeah.
be a B corporation because they take your whole company apart with a fine tooth comb in order to even grant
Wow.
a company that classification. And Arbonne at this point is the number 2 beauty brand on the B scale, like as far as all the
Wow.
B corporations go. We're number 2 in beauty on the B scale, and we are number 1 in nutrition, and we are the
That's amazing
number
to have 2
one.
categories. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
actually 3 categories because we're
Oh,
also the number 1 direct sales company on
okay.
the B corporation scale. So that to me is something to be super proud of. And
Yeah.
that's something that Arbonne was working towards even back then, because
Mhm.
that's what we were founded to be. We were founded to be clean beauty. And you know, opening up into nutrition becoming the top seller
Yes.
in our business, like all of that exciting stuff, and really learning how to serve people um,
And
by
nutrition and
helping.
beauty go hand in hand. I mean, if you're
Oh,
eating
they're
poorly, then it's going to reflect on the outside on your skin.
100%. People are, I mean, definitely the mind body skin connection is a newer area of study, but it's already been
Oh,
proven
yeah.
that it's all connected. You know, what we feed ourselves, the
Mhm.
condition of our gut health, you know, the microbiome is
Yes.
something that people are talking about now. You know, having that balance in your gut and having glowing skin, like that, there's no coincidence there.
No.
You see it in your skin. And if your skin is dull and you don't understand, like, oh,
Mhm.
why can't I get, why I'm trying to take care of my skin, like, why isn't this working? You have to take a look at what you're eating. You have to take a look at the
Yeah.
balance in your gut. You have to take a look at your stress level, because your
Oh,
mind and your
yeah.
body
What
and your
you're not
skin.
only feeding your body, but what are you feeding your mind?
Right.
What are your thoughts that you're thinking? So it's feeding your
Exactly.
body and your mind that effect.
Exactly. Right. So that journey that I've been on for the past 12 years has really been a one of self education and business education through Arbonne, where um, in the beginning I just started to make a little extra money.
Mhm.
Okay, and I
And you
am
were still
required.
a teacher at this point too. So did you
Yeah,
still have your, okay, so you still had
yeah,
your
still a
teaching job.
teacher, still a teacher, right? And I was fantasizing. Okay, that fantasizing, no joke, that in 2 years,
Fantasizing, manifesting.
fan, yeah, fantasizing, manifesting,
Exactly.
potato.
Exactly.
So I was fantasizing that I would maybe in 2 years be able to leave teaching, have another baby, and be making enough money with my Arbonne business that I'd be able to do that. I am required to add that if anyone wants to see average earnings at any level, you can go to earnings.arbonne.com.
Okay.
My results are not necessarily average or typical. Okay. I actually had a need that required more than a typical effort on my part. So I do have to share that just because my story turned out a certain way doesn't mean anyone else's would, because
Correct.
everyone's different, right?
That's
Now that the disclaimer's out of the way, I'll share my actual story. Okay.
yes.
Um,
Get to the good stuff.
I'll get to the good stuff now. So I was working full time. I'm doing my Arbonne business. I basically decided to trade television at night for
Uh,
working my Arbonne business. So I used to watch like an hour of television after the baby went to bed, and I traded that and instead worked my Arbonne business for 1 hour every day, and then for a couple hours on the weekends also.
okay.
And this is going on. I'm fantasizing about 2 years down the line, maybe someday, right? And then I go to work and I got laid off.
Oh,
And I knew the layoffs were
yeah. You
coming.
knew they were coming.
And I knew it would be me, because that end of that year, like if that year had ended,
Hmm.
and when you come back the following year, that first day, I would have gotten tenure.
Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
would have had tenure. So
Wow.
I knew that it would be me, but I at the same time I didn't really expect it, right? It
Yeah.
was very painful. And
Yeah. It's very
because I love,
emotional.
oh my gosh, I put my heart and soul. I put
Hmm.
everything I had into that job and into those kids. And like I said, it was like really a thankless job. Uh, so most of my school got laid off, because we were in the school that um the people with tenure didn't want to work in. Like when you have seniority, you get to pick more, right?
Okay. Oh,
So all
okay.
the newer teachers work there. So most of my school got laid off and
The
other people got
training
transferred.
grounds school.
It was the training ground school. And so other people got transferred in there. Everybody else that I worked with was walking around crying because they
Oh,
didn't know how they were going to pay their bills. I was crying too, because I hurt for those kids, because I knew they weren't going to have music anymore. I
and
knew
it's kind
that
of like a
that
slap in the face emotionally too. Like no matter how prepared you were for it, when something
there's
like
no,
that happens, yeah, it's hurtful.
yeah, and when you're a loving person, like I whatever it is that I do, I put everything I've got into it, and I put all my heart into it, and I really love those kids. Still I still mentor a couple of them.
Oh,
Like they still like chat with me and reach out to me sometimes. Like I
that's
will
awesome.
always they will always be my kids, and I will always care about them. Um, but the one thing I was not panicking about was being able to make ends meet at that point, because in my head I remember thinking to myself, I had the pink slip in my hand, and I'm like, and
Breathe.
I was thinking, I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll just as soon as work is done, we're just going to call Arbonne people and ask them what to do. And like, Arbonne is
I now
going to
have
help
more
me.
hours in the day to devote to this business.
I was like talking myself down. I got out of work that day and I got on the phone with the people who brought me into the business. And we have this very family, like it's an unbelievable community, like unbelievable culture of positivity and personal growth and giving back and paying it forward is beautiful. So I called them up and I'm like, okay, here's the deal. I'm getting laid off. I get my last paycheck on August 15th. By that point, I need to be making X amount
Yep.
in order to just get by. Okay.
Okay.
And I would like to make this next amount as soon as possible. So instead of just getting by, I can actually buy organic food, and thrive. Okay. I laid it out like, what do I need to do? And again, they told me, we can't make you any guarantees, but the only variable in this is you. We all have the same products to work with. We all have the same business model to work with. We all decide whether we're going to be coachable or not, but we'll lay out for you what we think would do the trick. You may need to do a little more, but if you do everything on this list, we're pretty confident you're going to be able to get this done. And I said, okay. So they told me what to do and I went and did it. And then I called them on the phone and I said, what do I do? And then they told me what to do and then I did it. And this repeated over and over again. I literally did every single solitary thing they told me to do. Okay. And in the meantime, while this was all going on, okay, without realizing it, I was entering into this whole wellness journey for myself, right? I came into Arbonne with skincare. Okay. And people still come to me for this stuff. I get called by Arbonne to do trainings on skincare because skincare was my thing. Okay. Before Arbonne, psoriasis, pain, joint pain, sick all the time. I spent so much of my life sick that I had actually given up on ever feeling any different. And I stopped thinking about it as sick and started thinking about it as life. I just fully accepted that I would be covered in psoriasis, uncomfortable and in pain and exhausted and bloated my whole entire life. Totally accepted it. The first thing that shifted for me, was that I really did actually finally get rid of every single toxic product in my house.
Wow.
And when I did that,
a chore.
it takes a lot.
Yes,
So, everything was gone. When I switched over to the products that, that Arbonne was sharing with really good ingredients and no sodium lauryl sulfate, which evidently is my kryptonite, which I didn't know.
Hey, how great is it that you even figured that out? Oh my gosh.
Such a blessing. My skin changed and everything shifted, and it's not like it cured me. It's not like it cures stuff. It's just I took away the things that were irritating my skin and causing me trouble and really triggering a lot of what I was dealing with. And I felt my skin was so much better. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, I don't have problem skin at all. This is great. And then of course I'm evangelistic about the skincare because everything cleared up. My oh my gosh, my shoulders, I could show my shoulders again. So happy.
And everybody around you had to have noticed this change as well.
People, I can't tell you how many times I've sold our the skincare. The skincare is to die for, right? I can't tell you how many times I've sold it because I ran into someone who knew me before I found Arbonne.
Okay.
And they're like, are you Maria? and they cannot believe that it's actually me. And they're like, wow, your skin.
And it's such a compliment too.
I know. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I know. I got into this really amazing skincare company that I work with, and things changed. And they're like, wow, what is it? I'll buy it right now.
Sign me up.
But in that journey, I also got introduced to the nutrition products. Okay. And at first I was just dabbling in the nutrition. you know, like I love the fizz sticks, the energy
Mhm.
fizz, which is probably our biggest selling product. Got really into that product because it gives you energy, and I'm a
Yeah.
mom, and who doesn't need
Who doesn't need
energy?
energy?
And
And
it's
not by not
healthy.
filling up on coffee every day.
Right, and it's not filling up on caffeine and sugar,
Mhm.
it's actual good stuff, right? So, got into that right away, got into the protein shakes right away, and then I decided to start taking my nutrition seriously because I was inspired by these other women who were working their Arbonne business and were really focusing on the nutrition. So I did the 30 days to healthy living for the first time, and that is exactly the same as the 2-week gut reset,
Okay.
except it's 30
Yeah.
days long.
It's
Okay.
almost like you actually brought in not only your gut health and your nutrition aspect, you brought in another stream of income that was sort of there for you, but you weren't
Hmm.
taking advantage of.
Exactly. And let me tell you something, bringing that piece into
Mhm.
my life totally shifted my wellness. I, you know, got into educating myself about gut health because Arbonne's obsessed with gut health.
Mhm.
Okay. Obsessed with gut health. So I became obsessed with gut health and I started studying it. And then I started seeing a naturopath. And then, you know, one thing led to another. And this whole world of education opened up to me. Um, Incredible products that really supported what I was learning.
Awesome.
You know, as I was learning and working with naturopaths and everything. And, you know, years later, not only am I free of pain and like feeling amazing, feeling better than I've ever felt
Mhm.
in my life, you know, I have really moved through Hashimoto's disease and been able to keep it in remission between
Yeah.
using really high quality products and educating myself and working
Mhm.
with naturopaths and like the gut health situation that
Yeah.
is the biggest key of all of it. That is a
So it's
huge
not
piece of it. And
only
on top of that, I was able to increase my earnings potential by a significant amount because I went from sharing this one piece,
Mhm.
this just the skincare, right, to opening that up to this wellness side.
Yeah.
And now now the wellness side is for me. I do have a business that's very balanced between the
Oh,
skincare and the
even
wellness.
better.
So I have both. So it's really like having two businesses. It's really like
Yeah.
having because you
Two
know you
businesses
can
within the same thing. So you're not
with
running over here and over
right,
there. It's like, no, it's all here.
exactly. Exactly. Like you can really take care of someone fully. Like
Yeah.
all the self-care needs are taken care of between the skincare and the hair care, the body care products, the fitness products. I have a triathlete who is just absolutely just came to me the other day, who is a
Okay.
client. She does not work with our she's not doesn't work with us. She is the client, and she just was gushing over our fitness products. We have
Oh, wow.
pre-workout, workout, and workout recovery products that she's like beaming about. So once you open that up and you realize how many sides of personal
Yeah.
care um, that we actually serve, that's huge. And learning how to share those products with other people, how to serve them, how to elevate them, and how to really bring joy to people's lives through wellness and self care. It's been a dream. But even more than that, I would say that building a team and teaching that team how to do the same thing has the most incredible reward. Coaching other people is a passion of mine. I mean, I was an educator. I'm an
Yes.
educator at heart. You know,
It's
the
already in
light
your
bulb,
wheelhouse.
right? The light bulb going off over someone else's head. That's what drives me in life. That's
Oh,
what gives me joy. So it's been such a blessing to be able to pay that forward. And especially considering that at this point, understanding that shifting someone's wellness and helping them step onto that path of wellness, that can change their life forever,
yeah. All
you know,
aspects
and
of their life.
all aspects of their life. And then you add the fact that if they want it, that wellness path is attached to a potential income stream.
Yeah.
And to me, that just is a marriage made in heaven. And you know, I've got tons of clients who are clients, and I serve them, I love them, I take care of them, they're my people, you know. And then there's some people who are like, hey, yeah, I'd like to do that too, and we teach And then we get to be, kind of like a family, a core family of people who are just looking to make life better for themselves and the people around them. It's
And
a
that's
really
amazing.
fantastic experience.
And I think what is so good about this business model, as people who watch The Wealth Within Us know that I represent LifeWave, which is the stem cell activation patches. When you're in a company like Arbonne or LifeWave, where the people around you are so supportive, it makes that journey not only so much easier, but fun. Like it's infectious, just that, like you had said, that camaraderie, because everybody else wants everyone else to do better. So it just trickles down. And one of the things when you and I had talked was you had said how network marketing is one of the best income streams that you could possibly do. And I know there's some negative thoughts out there around it. So I would love for you to share those thoughts as well, because I think it's just so brilliant. I think a lot of people don't get it. And myself, it took me a long time, because I think sometimes we have a bad experience with a company or a product. And I think most of the time it's not the products, but it's the people. And just that one experience can kind of turn you off. Now, for me, I was involved with the business that I was in for 2.5 years before I decided to start selling it. And I would love just your thoughts and to explain to everybody else what you had said to me about how much of an opportunity network marketing is.
I truly do believe that network marketing is the smartest business model on the face of the earth. And to quote Eric Worre, who, if you have not heard of Eric Worre, as someone who is in the network marketing profession, you should absolutely look him up. He is a brilliant educator. He always says it's not perfect, but it's better. Okay. And yes, there's going to be people who are untrustworthy in every single profession on the planet. Okay.
Yes, no matter what
to
it
me,
is.
The experience, like if somebody has a bad experience and they say, oh, network marketing, blah, 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 it's the same thing as getting dumped by a guy after a one night stand thinking it's love. And then the next day
I love
you
that
say,
analogy.
right? Then the next day you say, I am never dating again. Oh, evil. Like, no, that is not true. Okay. That guy was evil.
Yes.
Right. But there's jerks in every profession. It's really important to think professionally, to think logically, and kind of detach emotionally a little bit from it for a second.
And that's where mindset comes in.
And that's where mindset comes in 100%. But I always say I would never follow anyone or ask someone's advice, if they had failed at what I'm trying to do. Right.
Yes.
So I will only get advice from people who have succeeded where I want to go. But when it comes to network marketing, there are people and there are companies that maybe aren't as good, just like every other industry on the planet. Okay. And then there are companies that are really high quality, that are really trustworthy, who have all of the boxes checked. The important thing that you want to look for in a network marketing company, there's a few things you want to look for in a network marketing company. Okay. Number one, you want to look for a company that has a really high quality product and truly delivers to your clients in a very efficient and customer focused way. Right. That's number one. The product is everything. If the product is not a high quality product, there's no point in doing it.
Absolutely.
I would also highly recommend a consumable product. Consumable products, if you think, just from my perspective, what I do with Arbonne, people are going to wash their face no matter what. They're going to brush their teeth no matter what. They're going to
run out of cleanser. They're going to run out of the fizz.
They're going to run out of their
the protein powders.
Right. All of the stuff, they're going to run out and they're going to need more. Okay. Same thing with the patches. Right? They're using them on a regular basis.
Yes.
They're going
to replenish that
it's
supply,
just a smart,
like your toilet paper.
like with Right. It's a smart choice in business to go with a consumable product, no matter what kind of business it is.
Because you'll
But
always have
network
clients.
marketing is the same.
And I
In
believe
it,
that repeat clients are the best. It's so much easier
repeat
to keep the
clients.
clients than to get
Oh,
new ones.
oh my gosh. And you get to develop awesome relationships
Yeah.
with your regular, like I have such great relationships with my clients. I actually like legit love them. They're my people, and that feels good. And it's more
Yeah.
fun for
Because
me
often you
to
align
do
with
that.
all the same values and stuff. If you're all about the same product, then typically there's a lot of other things there that you have
Right,
in
we have a
common as
ton in common,
well.
right? So I think that's a really important thing in a network marketing company to look for. Another thing to look for in a network marketing company is that primarily, like most of the products are being sold to actual clients. Like you want to see a company who is really serving a clientele. So the clientele, it's got to be very customer focused. You want really good training. You want incredible. You want to really look for and look at the culture.
Mm-hmm.
The culture is huge because a culture of competition is never going to work
Yes. And that was what
in this
I
kind
had
of business.
experienced. It was a culture of
Yeah.
competition. Really great product. Um, Definitely a bad culture.
Yeah, and that's a shame. That's a shame.
But live
I'm
and
sorry
learn.
that you had that
We're all on this
experience.
journey. We fail, and I give myself credit for trying it again or for doing
I
it again.
do
I wouldn't
too,
even
and
say twice. So yeah.
I do. I'm proud that you did that, and that is
Yeah.
really huge, and that's growth. That's looking at a bump in the road as a
Mhm.
growth opportunity instead of as an obstacle, which
Yeah.
is honestly one of the biggest success pieces of advice I give on a
It's so
regular
true. It's
basis.
like the guy, that guy didn't work out. They're
That guy
not
didn't
all
work
like
out,
that. There's a couple of,
you know,
needles
right?
in the
And you might
haystack. We
think to
just
yourself,
got to find them.
maybe
Yes.
next time I will try to go for a guy who treats me with a little bit more respect. Right? Same
Yeah.
thing. Maybe next time I'll go with a
And
company that
I
has
think
a good culture.
And I think too, one of the things that I reflected on having had a past experience was, well, yeah, it didn't work out. And I can say that it wasn't a great culture, but what did I do wrong too, so that I could approach the next time differently?
Hmm.
So I think
And
it's also looking at your own self and taking responsibility for the parts that
that
you
is also
were
really
responsible
important.
for.
That's also really important because you'll
Yeah.
see often that there are people who were not successful. And by the way, there are, isn't it like something like 89 or it's like a high percentage of realtors have never sold a house, right?
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't even know
It's,
that. That's
yeah.
crazy. And that's a
Yeah.
lot of
So,
work. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it's a ton of work to even become a realtor. Um, so, and like say a pizza shop, like most restaurants don't make it. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's a scam. It means that you didn't make it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it
It,
didn't even mean that the product wasn't good. Just
right. Like
something
there's going
was
to
off.
be not every person is willing to do the
Yeah.
work to make it happen. And there are situations where one of my pet peeves, one of the things that really burns my buttons in the network marketing industry is representatives who say that it's easy or
Mm,
that you'll be a success overnight or it's easy or like
yeah.
they're all sleazy. You
And
know what I'm saying? Like
that's totally
those
putting out not
people.
only false expectations, but you as the person listening to this, you're setting your own self up for failure.
Right, you're
So
setting
it's a
yourself up for
lose-lose on
failure.
both ends.
Oh, it's a lose-lose. I can't stand the whole like lifestyle claims and like, oh, you're gonna be a millionaire. Like, okay, shut the front door.
Yep.
This is work
Get
just
out of
like
the
any
picture
other
in front of your
business,
jet that's not
right?
yours.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Like these
Right?
people, that guy is the guy who like slicks back his
Oh
hair
yeah.
and
Yeah.
like shows up with his shirt unbuttoned to here to your
Yeah.
blind date and he's like, "Hey, babe." And you're like, "Oh god,
Exactly.
why'd I go out with this dude?" Totally
Yeah.
not
No,
what
no,
we're
no,
looking
no,
for.
no, no,
That's a
no, no.
huge red flag. If anybody says you're gonna be a millionaire, run for the hills. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Um,
Because
yes,
no one
there's
can guarantee that.
right. Nobody can guarantee anything.
Because you're the
Just
one that's the only one in charge of what your actions are. And I think that's what sometimes people
exactly.
forget. It's my actions that determine my success or my
Exactly.
inaction.
Exactly. You know, I like, for me, I was able to promote up in my business
Mm-hmm.
to the third level. Like Arbonne is different from some companies. We have
Okay.
fewer levels, um, but second to the top of the company, okay, in a shorter period of time than is normal. Okay,
Wow.
the average length of time that it takes, I think, according to earnings.arbonne.com, I want to say is like 2 years to get to that level. It took me 8 months. Okay,
Wow.
so you look at that and somebody might misunderstand and say, oh, well, if I sign up, I could have a Mercedes
Mm-hmm.
Benz in 8 months. Well, number one, I earned that car. I earned that. It's like you get like a monthly stipend to have the car, right? I
Okay.
earned it. I earned it
Yes. Yes.
because I worked twice as hard
Mm-hmm.
as anyone else. I took what a normal person would have done in 2 years, and I put it in an 8 month period of time, you
Yes.
know? So that's, to me, that's where the beauty in this business is. It's completely up to you,
Yes.
um, that you get to, right? You could look at it like, oh, well, you know, there's no guarantees, and oh, but no, 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 you don't understand. In another company, in another business, if you're an employee of someone else, they're going to tell you how many people are allowed to promote to that level. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to tell you, no, sorry, we don't have enough money to give you
Yep.
more. They're going to tell you, no, you can't work that many hours. You're not allowed to work
Yes.
that many hours because we don't want to pay you that. But in a company like this, in a network marketing space, you own your own business, right? So you're in business
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You're totally trained. You're
Yes. You have
taking
a
care of your,
support
like,
system.
you're in the support unit, right? And you get to choose what you put into it. You get to
Mm.
choose how many hours you put into it. And if you want to
Yeah.
build something that is truly significant and you're willing to do the work necessary, you're willing to educate yourself, you're willing to, like, I studied leadership. I, I read all the books.
Oh yeah.
I went to all the conferences. I,
Yeah. Because you have
showed
to
up
change your
every single
mindset to a
training.
certain degree.
Right. And then I ran into somebody who tried something like that once, right? And
Oh.
they never showed up. They never showed up for a training. Never showed up for a
Okay.
single training. Never read a book. Never tried to sell a single solitary product and
Yep.
wondered why they
But
didn't
it
get a
didn't work.
paycheck.
But it didn't work.
It didn't work. No, you
Yeah.
didn't work, honey. You didn't work,
Exactly.
honey. No, no, not to be snarky, not to be snarky. But I believe in this. I believe in this business
And I
model
and I think
with my whole heart.
one of the great aspects that people don't talk about with the network marketing model is that a lot of the work is up front. The work up front is hard. It is
Mhm.
hard up front. But if you're working this much up front, as you grow, you realize how your time and energy focuses, because it is one of those businesses that leverages all of the people that are underneath you. So as you become more successful and put in all this work, now your focus changes to what you had said, to that leadership role.
That
So it
leadership role.
becomes very different, but the work up front to get there is it's hard. It does, like you
It's
said,
like,
it does take
I
time,
liken
but
it,
there's a
it's just
big
like any other
payoff.
business. And so it's
Hmm.
really
Yeah.
important that people hear that it's just like any other business. Like if you're
Yes.
in franchises, it takes a lot to get the first one off
Yeah.
the ground. And you know what? You're not making very much money with one
Oh,
franchise. You need to have like multiple franchises in order to really get to that point where you're
yeah.
chugging along. And even when you do have a string of 15 franchises, you're still managing a whole lot of people and
Hmm.
coaching and training, and there's a ton of leadership involved. There's still a lot of work. Okay, it's better to lead many than it
Yes.
is to do all the work by yourself. It's like, have you ever heard the story of the boulder?
I, tell it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the story of, I don't really even know the story of the boulder, but I know what it's
Yes,
like to
you make
push
it up.
one. Okay,
It's all
like
good.
when you push a boulder, okay, as this huge boulder, it's hard
Yes.
to get it moving, right? But once the thing starts rolling,
Yes.
right, you can run with it.
Hmm.
Okay, if you stop, it might roll for a while, but it's gonna stop too eventually if you're
Yes.
on flat ground. Okay, but if you keep running and you keep rolling it and rolling it, rolling it, and then you get a bunch of people with you and you are all taking turns rolling the boulder, right?
Yes.
Then it's like a chugging machine that never stops, right? And
Yeah.
when you build a business like this, yeah, it takes a lot to get the albatross off the ground, okay?
Mhm.
But once that girl's flying, it becomes so much fun that you're energized by it.
Yes.
And that leadership role, it is work. It's work, okay?
Absolutely.
But it's a different kind of work. And I still have like, I tell people all the time, like, never stop serving your clients.
No,
Never stop bringing in new clients. That is the lifeblood of your business. Like,
exactly.
serving others, you're going to be an example for your team. And that is where you build a really strong network marketing business. Again, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Results are different for everybody, right? But it depends on your willingness to do the work. It depends on how much time you put in. It depends
Yes.
on so many different factors that it's impossible
Yeah.
to really lay it out. Um, just like any other business, just like
Yeah.
all the many realtors in the world who try to become realtors and then they don't, all the many people who try to go to the MLB and then they
Yeah.
don't,
And then they don't.
you
Yeah.
know?
It's so
Um,
true. And even
yeah.
I would
So,
compare it to like myself. I own my own graphic and website design business. And it's also a lot different from starting your own business that nobody's heard of, that you've got to build from the ground up. But sometimes either if you get on the ground floor of a more booming company or a company like Arbonne that already has an amazing reputation, you've kind of eliminated some of this awareness. That's a lot of work. It's a
it's
lot of work to
huge.
create
It's
awareness
huge.
around your
Yeah.
business.
How about R&D,
Yeah,
creating a product,
exactly.
formulations, manufacturing, shipping and handling, all of that stuff.
All taken
Had
care of for you.
Yes, this is like a business in a box.
Yes.
It's all there. And then there's the education that comes with it,
Mhm.
learning how to make a sale, learning
Yes.
how to educate people about the products and product knowledge, learning how to lead and learning how to grow yourself as a
Yeah.
person. All of those things,
Yeah,
they're
you get.
already set up for you.
Hmm.
Like, you don't have to do any of it by yourself. Like, you don't have to figure it out. It's all right there. And
Yeah.
yes, you got to do the work, but at least you don't have to create the systems. At least you
Yes.
don't have to
Or the
create the
product.
products. Right. And, God bless anyone who has that
Oh
genius,
my gosh. Yeah.
that they can do that. I really respect the true entrepreneur, from
Yes.
start to finish. For me, I that's not me, but I still wanted something that was my own. I
Yep.
still wanted a career that was challenging, and I really wanted to be able to be fully present for my children and choose when I was going to focus on work and when I was going to focus on my kids. So
Yeah.
having the freedom to really weave something in your day, in the nooks and crannies of your life, and choose when you want to push to do more, right? And have the flexibility that if necessary, you can, like, ease off a little bit because some
Yeah.
major life occurrence is
Had to
happening or
happen.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
And you're
you
still
know,
generating income instead of being handed a, what'd you call it, a red card? Is that what it was?
a pink slip.
Your pink slip, instead of being handed that and saying, "Ugh, what am I
Ugh.
going to do?"
Yeah, being able to have something that is your own, but at the same time is supported by a
Yeah.
parent company, I think is really brilliant. And like, I could talk about network marketing all day, how genius it is,
But I think it's
honestly.
good that I think a lot of people don't recognize how tremendous of an opportunity this business model really is. And it's probably one of the few business models out there where you have such a low startup cost and the payoff, depending on your efforts, can be bigger than any 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, I think that's a big important piece of it too, is that it is such a low startup with
Hmm.
any
Yeah.
business like this, that, I mean, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Okay, you can
Look
start a
at the cost of
business.
entry into a franchise. You're
Right.
talking
I know. It's a lot.
several $1,000s.
Yeah, and you don't even make all that much money on the first
Yeah.
franchise. like have a whole string of them to really do something.
Yeah.
Um,
Not that that's not a
yeah,
good business model, but
sometimes,
a lot more
sometimes I
effort.
gotta, I'm just gonna be super transparent with you because I really feel like this business model is the smartest in the entire world. I really and truly do. I also know that it's not for everyone,
Yes.
but anybody who wants to do it can do it, right? So
Yeah.
there's no like, it's a completely level playing field,
Yes.
which I think is really amazing.
Yeah. And I think the point
Yeah.
is just like, don't hear the word network marketing and take it off the table.
Oh yeah, no way. Like I would recommend that anyone who is looking for extra money
Mhm.
look at network marketing and educate themselves not about all the negativity in the world. There's a great book. Have you ever read the book Beach Money? It's a
Beach,
great book.
BACH. No, but I really,
Great
that's
book.
like my dream is a beach house. So maybe I
Yeah,
need,
it's a fantastic book. There's a bunch of great GoPro by Eric Worre is a fantastic book.
okay.
Um have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki?
Yes, I follow him actually.
Yeah, he has The Business of the 21st Century
Hmm.
was a really good one. There's so many great books out there that can teach you about what network marketing is, what to look for in a company. You want to definitely make sure that you're with a company that is ahead or with at
Hmm.
least timing and trends, things,
And still
what's happening, what
innovating, and
people are
it's not
want.
just the same
Yes,
products. So
still
still innovating.
innovating. You want a company that has at least some products that are proprietary, where
Hmm.
nobody else really has
Yeah.
exactly what you have. Like you want something unique,
Yep.
um,
And
and you want
patents
a
are good.
company. Yep,
Like
patents are good.
Lifeway patches are
Right,
patented, which is an amazing selling point.
huge selling point. And you want to make sure that you're with a company that actually cares about
Yeah.
ethics, you know, and
And
about
it's
people.
people.
They got to care about ethics. They got to care about people, and you
Yeah.
want a company that's going to educate you as a distributor how to go about building your business in a way that is ethical and compliant and like good to people. You
Yes.
want to be a force for good in the world, and you want a company that's going to teach you how to do that, and it's going to teach you, okay, like yeah, don't make false income claims,
Yep.
don't say it's easy, don't you know don't make false medical claims,
Yeah.
like
Don't
be real with
misrepresent
people.
yourself or the company for a sale.
Right, right, exactly. Like be real, be authentic, be honest, because the products themselves are good enough. You don't
Yeah.
need to make anything up. You just need to be real with people. And if the product's not good enough for that, then you're with the wrong company.
Yeah.
100%, you know.
Or if you're not
Um,
passionate about the product too. I think that's the other thing. As you said, the Arbonne product's perfectly aligned with where you were going. So if you're not
yep.
passionate about the product, it's going to be actually hard to even put in that time. So I think
Oh
being
yeah.
passionate about the product makes you want to put more time, devote more time, share. And I think that's one of the awesome things about network marketing is because the products work so well for you and others that you shared it with, you're just excited to share it with other people because you know the benefits that they can receive no matter what they are.
Exactly. Exactly. Like if it's natural
Yeah.
for you to share, like I would be sharing these products with people anyway. Like the
Yeah.
product that I told you about earlier, Mind Health.
Mhm.
Okay. When I started talking about that, did you see how much I lit up?
Yes,
I light up every
absolutely.
time I talk about it
Yeah. And you're
because
like, I'm not even gonna live without this product.
like I can't. I
So you
can't be
know
without that.
that you are
Like
passionate about
I've
that.
dealt with brain fog my entire life, and if I don't have my mind health, I'm like I ran out. I ran out. This is the first time I've run out of
Oh,
mind health
wow.
since I like it's been a few years. The last time I ran out of mind health, I drove away from a gas station with the gas thing still in my car.
Oh my
Okay. So I'm
gosh.
like very, very, I'm like on it. It's a product that's clinically proven to improve cognition, okay, and focus.
Yeah.
But I'm passionate about that product. If I was not an Arbonne consultant, I would still use it every day and I would still tell people about it all the time. Okay. It comes naturally to me. Like I can't help it. I have to tell
Yes.
people about it because I want people to be happy and healthy and be able to focus and have what they want in life. Same thing with the 2 week gut reset. I'm
Mm.
very, how passionate I am about
Yes.
that entire program and about gut health in general. And I do want to offer my book. on gut
Oh,
health. Okay.
absolutely.
So that is called it's called Happy Gut, an everyday mom's guide to gut health. Okay. All right. So it's awesome. And I will give that to you so that you can share with your
Yes,
viewers and give that as a gift.
it'll absolutely be in the description, and it'll be on the wealthwithinus.com with a direct link to get that free download.
So again, as you know, so being passionate about the product does make it much more natural to share with people. And I think that if you are authentic and you're really yourself, I mean, you are the best gift you could possibly give someone,
Yeah.
you know? So being authentic to you, if you can really be yourself and share a product authentically, then you are
Yeah.
in a great space. You got a great beginning, you know, and yeah, you can build it as big as you want to build it, as long as you're willing to do the work necessary to get there, you know,
And being
and there,
consistent
it's
about that.
great. Yeah, be consistent
Yep.
about that. Exactly. Like, um, and have fun
Oh
with
my
it,
gosh, that's the
you
most
know?
important part.
Oh yeah. Having a good
It
time, have
is.
fun.
And even if you're not sure, I would say, for example, with Arbonne, if you're just a customer and you're just
Mhm.
sharing it with people, maybe you should be joining to build a business. So some of us don't even think
Right.
that way. We're like, oh, I just da 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 da. Well, you
Hmm.
could have a quite a little nice income on the side if you just
Well,
sort of rewire
yeah,
your
like,
thinking, be like, yeah, you can sell
or
it too because you already
right.
are.
The way that I think, like, I'm always thinking about building a business
Yes,
because
me
I'm a
too.
businesswoman. That is who I am, right? However, there are tons of people, most people who do a business like this do it on the side for just a little bit of extra money. And, you know, they're selling some products. They might have a small team. They might not even have a team, right? And then there's a lot of people who are more like a brand ambassador who
Mm,
literally they just share their one favorite product with everyone they know because they can't help
yeah.
it. They were going to do it anyway. And you might as well make a little extra from making that recommendation. You
Yeah.
know, if I recommend my favorite restaurant, I'm going to do it no matter what. If
Exactly.
they
So why
offered
not get
me,
paid for it?
right, they were like, I'll give you $5 every time you recommend us. And it's my
Here's
favorite
a $5
restaurant. I'll be
coupon,
like,
$5
no
coupon.
problem. You
Because
know,
you're
like
going
that's,
there and you're doing it already.
you're doing it anyway. And that's where our culture is right now.
Yes.
People want to purchase products from people they know, like, and trust. People want to purchase products from someone who's actually using those products,
Mhm.
not being paid millions of dollars to show
Yeah.
up in a
And
commercial,
you're not even sure if
and they're
they're
not even
really
using
using
it.
them.
Right?
Yeah. Who
They're
knows?
not using that
I
stuff.
know
So
some of the,
it,
yeah, I
people like
agree.
the influencer kind of thing has created this whole idea of affiliate marketing and ambassadorship. Being
Mhm.
an ambassador for a product, you can be an ambassador for a product and get paid for it, even if you're only sharing with a couple of people here and
Yeah.
there. You know, you don't have to be this massive influencer who is sharing, you know, with hundreds of thousands of people. With a company like ours, you know, whether it's Lifeway or it's Arbonne, you can share with just a few people.
Yeah.
And why shouldn't you make that little bit of extra on the side because
Yeah.
you're making those recommendations? It just makes total sense to me. People are going to wash their hair anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like
Yeah.
I remember thinking to myself, I use that. I use that. Oh, I use that. Oh, I use that. And like every single thing they talked about, I'm like, oh man, like
Yeah.
I buy all this stuff all the time. Why would I not buy it from myself? You
Yeah.
know? Why would I not? Especially after trying them. You know,
Yeah.
once you try a product and you love it, then again, it just starts moving. It starts going. Your
Exactly.
brain starts going.
And it just
So,
takes a small little reframing in your mindset to start thinking this way. Or it just how it takes maybe listening to this video, or maybe you meet up with Maria and all of a sudden you just hear something differently and something
mhm.
clicks. It took me 2.5 years to decide to sell LifeWave.
I know it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
maybe I'm a
But
slow
you know,
learner.
no, I think I think it's important. Like I personally believe that our best consultants come from our clients. you
Mm.
know, like the people who really truly love the products and who've really
Yeah,
stuck with them for a while. Those people really do become the best consultants because their testimony is real. Their testimony is totally authentic, and they
absolutely.
know they already know the product. They're like, I've been working with this company for like 2.5 years, and
Yeah.
everything's always on time.
Yep.
If ever there's any problem, they
Yeah.
replace it. Like, you know, like
It's back to the
90-day
know,
money
like,
back
and trust.
guarantee. Like, I got a package that had a dent in it and something inside got smashed, and then they sent me a new one within
Yeah.
2 days. Like, when you have those
Amazing.
experiences
Yeah.
and you gain trust in a company, it makes sense to me. I know that for me, it happened for me much quicker. You know, I think I was a client for, I think I knew I was going to start the moment that very night. I had already decided I was going to do it. But I did get products and try them for
Yes,
about, I think, a
just to
month,
make sure.
like for a month. Okay.
Yeah, you're like,
But
I
I
pretty
have,
much know, but yeah.
right. And then I have people on my team who were clients of mine for years first. And then like we're like, you know what? I keep telling my friends about this. This is dumb. I might as well just upgrade my ID so that when they come to my house and drink my wine and order, they can pay me instead of you. I'm like, it sounds good.
Exactly. And
Sounds
it
good. I'm
is.
good.
It's all
It's
good
great.
because it just sometimes means that whenever you were first introduced to you, you just weren't ready then. So
Mhm.
I think when it does have a lapse of time in between and you do decide to do it, there's also the positive side, like you know that you're ready.
Yes. And I think that's another mistake
Mm.
that a lot of people make. Too many people, honestly, and I'm sure that I've made that mistake early in my career. I think everyone makes this
Yeah,
mistake
I
early in their
agree.
career where they try to push
Yeah.
people beyond what they're ready for, and that leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth.
And then you're
It takes
frustrated.
right, and then you're frustrated, you have negative energy. Like,
Mhm.
I like to say it's like offering someone a glass of water. Okay, if they're thirsty, they're going to take it. Okay, as long as they trust you. If they don't trust you, they're not taking that water from you. You're a
Yeah.
stranger. Okay, they might think to themselves, maybe I'll take that water another time, but not today. She
Yeah.
might be weird. Like, they got to get to know you. They see you every single day holding the water, offering the water. They see other people take the water from you and
Mhm.
smile and chat and be friendly, and then one day maybe they'll take the water. Okay,
Yeah.
but if they're not thirsty, they're never going to take it. And
No.
that's okay. You're not going to cry if you offer someone a
Yeah.
glass of water and they say no. It's no big deal. So giving them the opportunity, giving people the respect and the grace to not be interested in your product is huge. And
Yeah.
having really, I want people who say no to me to walk away with a really good feeling
Mm.
about me. I want them to feel nothing but love and light from me because, you know, everybody likes different things and everybody wants
Yeah.
different things. And in addition to that, it takes an average of 8 to 16 exposures to a product or a company before someone will purchase. So if you like get in someone's face and
Mhm.
you're like trying to shove
Yeah.
it down their throat in the first time you meet, um,
Yeah. You kind of come
you're
off
just
with this
burning
air
bridges.
of desperation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are gonna dive into a bush when you
Yeah.
walk down the street, and that's honestly part of what gives our direct sales industry kind of a bad rap,
Yeah.
is that kind of thing. So I do encourage patience, positive energy, love, grace, and respect
Yeah.
at all
Perfect.
times, and give people an opportunity to get to know you, give people an opportunity to get to know your product, be
Mhm.
consistent in sharing on social media and in offering samples, and just be cool, be
Yeah.
kind, and you just have better results. You just have better
Yeah.
results that way. For
And you'll
sure.
be happier too.
Oh yeah, and the people in your neighborhood will be able to stop diving into the bushes.
That's true. That's true. They won't run from you every time. And then when you need to, borrow a stick of butter, they're going to give it to
Oh,
you because they're going to be like, oh, she's not
exactly.
hounding me about that product. She
Oh
just
my
wants a
gosh.
stick of butter.
For sure. One time I was working out at the Y, and like years ago, it was kind of early in my business, and I was really practicing gratitude at
Mm.
that time. I remember learning about gratitude and writing gratitude every day, writing gratitude every morning, like the things I'm grateful for in my life right now, and then the things that I'm grateful for that are happening for me in the future. And like, I was feeling a lot of positive energy. I was sending thank you cards to every single person. And I do that now still. I send thank you cards to every single person who purchases a product from me as client. And, I'll send my clients like Valentine's and stuff like that. But I met someone at the gym, this older gentleman, bless his heart, who's always standing around in the gym. It was always there every time I went, but he was always just standing around. And, and he was definitely carrying a little extra above the belt, like that certain look that you're like, ooh, somebody made you come here. I was like, he looks uncomfortable. He looks like he's in danger. You know what I'm saying? And I went and talked to him, and I was like talking to him about the protein shakes and like trying to get him to try the 30 days to healthy living. And he's like, listen. And he's got this like gravelly voice, like he's been smoking 8 packs a day for life. And he's like, listen to me. My wife makes me come here. I don't want to be here. I don't care about your healthy living. I don't want any of it. I drink. He goes, he goes, I drink whiskey for breakfast.
Hey, at least you're being honest.
Oh my God. He's cracking me up. And I just started laughing. And I continued to talk with him and like joked around with him and like was like, dude, you are so funny. Like you like live at the gym and like you don't use any of the equipment. So we like, kind of bantered back and forth. And he saw me there a few more times. And then like a couple of weeks later, he came to me and he goes, hey, you remember how you were telling me that you have those vegan things? Vegan things? What kind of vegan things you have? I'm like, lots of vegan things, sir. Like, what are you looking for? And he's like, my daughter isn't vegan.
Oh.
And I'm like, is she? He's like, he wanted to get her a present. So
Oh.
he came back to me.
So he
Now,
was actually listening.
He was listening. And, and I was always wearing my Arbonne shirt,
Yep.
like, giving things out to people at the gym. He saw people coming up to me and like asking for things, and like he saw me interact.
Yeah.
So over time, he came to trust me. We continually like bantered back and forth. I enjoyed him as a human being, knowing he would never buy a thing from me, right?
Yep.
Didn't care. He was awesome. He was hilarious. I was worried about him a little bit, but it was okay. Whiskey for breakfast, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, like he came back to me because he had the good feeling. So leaving people with that good feeling. So I can't remember who it was that used to say it all the time, but put a little sugar on everything, putting a little bit of love on, like being kind. It cannot possibly be overstated how important that is, especially now. I think.
And it goes farther than you will ever know, because most people just don't share how much it meant to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And people will respect you when you are confident enough in what you're doing that you don't need them to purchase from you.
Yeah.
It was Jim Rohn. Have you ever heard of Jim Rohn?
I have.
Love Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn has one of the best CDs. Oh gosh, I'm dating myself. I said CD.
They're pretty old.
Back in the old days.
A cassette tape.
Back in the old days, when we had
cassette tapes and we had knobs
and vinyl, So in one of his trainings, he would always I totally forgot my train of thought now too. Started talking about Jim Rohn. I remember now. Jim Rohn always used to say, "Don't bring your need to the marketplace."
Oh, that's good.
Right? Right? Because if you keep that person, like if you're in direct sales, right? If you're in network marketing, if you're in MLM, if you're in auto sales, like if you're in any sales position,
yes,
if you bring your need to the marketplace, all people see is the dollar signs in your eyes. There's
Mhm.
no way to fake that. There's no way to
No,
hide it from
no.
people. People feel it and it's gross. So when you meet with anyone, like when I go to meet with people, every single solitary time, I have this mantra. It's like a prayer that
Mm,
I say to that. It's a mantra in my mind, and I ask, I'm like, let me be the light in this person's life. Show me what they need. Show me how I can serve them. And when you sit across the table from someone and you keep their best interest in mind at the
yes,
forefront, right, over anything else, you will always be successful. Always. It will always come back around. Like
yes,
things flow when you keep other people's best interest in mind
yeah, and
in business.
amazing.
Um, in in my humble opinion.
Well, I think on that note, we have learned about why you should look at network marketing, how to
Totally.
grow your health, how to grow your wealth, and we have covered, I think, everything in between. This was amazing.
Oh,
And
this is fun.
you're going to get a free book. You're going to get a free
Yes.
gut reset book. That information is going to be all in the description. So I encourage you to go to the wealthwithin.us and download that and reach out to me or reach out to Maria on any questions that you have, whether you're just looking for product or you're looking to start your own network marketing business. We have more than enough information for you. So Maria, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. I know you have a busy, busy day, as I do sometimes too, but I love doing this and I love talking to you. You're such an inspiration and I love your journey and I hope to be following your journey myself.
Well, I am going to be cheering you on every step of the
Oh,
way. I'm so happy to know you, and I appreciate you and everything that you're doing. This has turned out to be something that's really fun, and like this
it
is going to
is.
be, it's good for the whole profession. You
It
know,
is. It is.
I
And
believe
you're going to
that
come back.
working together is great. I'll come back. We'll talk about the
Yes.
2 week gut reset more in detail, and
Yep.
really have like a gut health focused episode. Looking forward to that.
We
We can
all
schedule
need.
that when you're ready.
Yes, absolutely. So stay healthy, stay wealthy, and I will see you next time on The Wealth Within Us. Thank you so much.